Do you know the difference between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA? In this video, I am going to talk about the difference between both. I decided that I wanted to do a video series on how to prepare for retirement from your 30s and up. And part of my reason for doing that is a lot of people are not prepared for retirement. So this video, the first in the series, is going to be talking about Roth IRA and traditional IRA. Now, if you're not familiar with my channel, I am Tanya Taylor of Grow Your Wealth TV, and my topics generally cover investing, budgeting, getting rid of debt, pretty much everything personal finance. So please subscribe to my channel to get all of my great contents and hit the bell if you want to be notified when I have new videos out on Fridays and on Sundays. An IRA, which stands for Individual Retirement Account, is an account that you set up at a financial institution such as TD Ameritrade or Fidelity, and you would contribute an amount tax-free for your retirement. You can contribute to your IRA up until the age of 70, but you must start withdrawing by the time you are age 72. You would check with your financial institution to find out what is the minimum that you need to withdraw after you turn 72. It is important to note that due to the COVID crisis, that required minimum distribution, or RMD, it has been waived. Your IRA can hold stocks, it can hold bonds, mutual funds, index funds, and exchange traded funds. And there are certain type of IRAs which are called self-directed IRAs. And in those IRAs, you can actually have real estate and other type of investments. Now, if you want to learn more about investing in mutual fund, index fund, or exchange traded fund, I have a great video here that you can check out. It goes into a lot of details about each of those and which one would work for your particular situations. So as I mentioned, there is a tax benefit for investing in an IRA, but the IRS has rules about deducting this amount. So for example, if you're single and you're making $64,000 per year, you can deduct the full $6,000 that you can contribute annually if you're under 50. And if you're over 50, the full $7,000 that you're allowed to contribute annually. However, if you're single and you make over $75,000 per year, you actually cannot deduct from your taxes any of that contribution that you've made to the IRA. So in between the $64,000 and the $75,000, it continues to be phased out until you get to the $75,000. Then you're not allowed to deduct any at all. Now, who benefits from investing in an IRA? So IRA is an excellent choice for someone who has a high income now, but in the future, when they get to retirement, they may have a lower income. And the reason for that is because right now, if you are able to deduct that $6,000 or however much you are able to deduct from your taxes, then you're getting the tax benefit now. And because your taxes are high, your taxes that you're owing to the government is going to be lower. But as you get to the outer years, if your tax bracket is less, so you've invested all this money now, it's going to grow a lot. So by the time you retire, you have to pay taxes on it. But if at that time your tax bracket is lower, you're still in a good position because you have benefited from all of that investing. You can actually open an IRA at any age, and generally you can invest money from earned income, but you can also invest from disability, and there are also other types of ways that you can invest that is not necessarily earned income. Now, in terms of contribution, as many of you know, at least in the US, tax day is April 15th. So a person who wants to invest in an IRA can actually invest in that IRA up until April 15th. In 2020, that date was July 15th because the tax day was extended to July 15th. Now, that all sounds really great, right? But there are certain things that you must know about IRA. So once you start investing in an IRA, you must hold it and not withdraw until 59 and a half. If you do decide that you want to withdraw, there is going to be a penalty of 10% on whatever the balance is that you withdraw, and you will have to pay taxes at whatever your tax rate is. So let's take an example. if you have a tax rate of 24% and you decide that you wanted some money out of your IRA and you took $10,000 out, so you would pay 24% tax on that $10,000, and then you would also pay a 10% penalty on that $10,000. So what does that mean? Like, I would not recommend people to withdraw from their IRA unless it's absolutely necessary. And while I discourage people from withdrawing from their IRA, I do want to point out to you that there are some exceptions that the government have made that will allow you to be able to withdraw from your IRA without a penalty. So for example, if you're a first-time home buyer, you can actually withdraw $10,000 without penalty. And also if you're unemployed and you pay your insurance from your IRA, you can also not be penalized. You must, however, know that there are taxes associated with this, so you always want to keep that in the back of your mind. And just as a general rule, I would say if you're going to take money from your IRA, talk to your tax person, because they might be able to guide you in the most appropriate way, instead of at the end of the year you find yourself in a situation where you owe all this money because you did not realize all the consequences of withdrawing from your IRA. So, being steeped in the tax world, I do want to say to you that it's really important that you talk to your tax person. I have had people call me so many times, including this year, where they have taken money out of their IRA and they either one did not know that there was taxes and penalties, so they kind of get caught in that bind where at the end of the tax filing season, they don't have the money to make the payment for those early withdrawals that they did. So if you take nothing else from this, take from it that if you were to borrow from your IRA, and that should just be under really extreme circumstances, then you want to talk to your tax person. If you're finding this content helpful, please feel free to comment below, say what part of it that you found most interesting. Also share it with your friends. Encourage all your friends to watch so that you guys could all retire and live this great, happy retirement life, however it is that you choose to retire in the next couple decades. Okay, so now that you've learned about IRA, I'm going to talk about the Roth IRA so that you can know the differences. And then I'm going to wrap up by comparing side by side the Roth IRA with the individual traditional IRA. So a Roth IRA is also set up at a financial institution very similar to the traditional IRA, except that you're using your after-tax dollars. So what that basically means is that you got your income, you have that extra $200 that you're going to be saving, and you open a Roth IRA account instead of just opening a regular savings account where you're not really earning much of an interest. The assets that you hold in your Roth IRA, again, very similar to the traditional IRA. And the amount that you invest in your Roth IRA is also similar to your traditional IRA, where you're putting $6,000 if you're under 50, and then you're putting $7,000 if you're over 50. In terms of where the threshold is where you would not be able to contribute anymore, that's very different. So if you're single and you make $124,000, you can contribute up to $6,000 to your Roth IRA. However, if you are single and you make over $139,000, you will not be able to contribute to a Roth IRA at all. You're just not allowed. So it phases out between the $124,000 and $139,000. Now, someone might be saying, well, why would I want to invest in a Roth IRA after tax when I could put my money in before tax and get that tax benefit annually? And there are reasons why you would want to invest in a Roth IRA. One reason is that for a Roth IRA, once you invest that money after tax, it's going to continue to grow tax-free. And when you withdraw it, it's still going to be tax-free. So all that money that you're investing, you'll be able to pull it out completely tax-free. Since you're putting that money in, already paid tax on it, let's say you wanted to pull out what you put in, you can pull it out and there are no consequences. So let's just walk through an example of what I mean by that. Let's say you contributed $10,000 to your Roth IRA and it's grown now to $25,000. And something came up that was really important, a real emergency, and you wanted to pull out money out of your Roth IRA. If you take that $10,000 out, you would not be taxed on it because you've already paid the taxes. You also would not incur a penalty for it because because it's just your money that you contributed. However, let's say you took $15,000 out. Then that $5,000, which is above your contribution, you actually would be taxed on it, and there would also be a penalty because that's your capital gains, and so that's why you would be paying taxes on it. And also because you've withdrawn it before you're 59 and a half, you're also paying that 10% penalty. A Roth IRA is excellent for people whose income are low now. So if you've just gotten out of college and you're not making a lot of money, but you believe that your income potential is going to be really high, the best thing that you can do right now is to contribute to your Roth IRA, because you're going to be growing all of that money tax-free. Working with your financial coach or gaining that knowledge on your own, you can figure out how to structure all of your different investment portfolios so that it totally makes sense for you to determine whether or not you want to do a Roth IRA or an individual IRA. If you're finding this content helpful, please feel free to comment below, say what part of it that you found most interesting. Also share it with your friends, especially since we're talking about this retirement series. The more people that are prepared for retirement, the better. So encourage all your friends to watch so that you guys could all retire and live this great, happy retirement life, however it is that you choose to retire in the next couple decades. Okay, all of you friends, so hopefully you've learned a lot from this video in terms of Roth IRA and traditional IRA and what the differences are. I wanted to do a quick recap on both of them side by side. So traditional IRAs are funded with pre-tax dollars, and you will pay taxes when you pull the money out. Roth IRA are funded with after-tax dollars, and you will never have to pay taxes on the money that you contribute to a Roth IRA. For individuals that have high income now, but they may have low income in the future, a traditional IRA is perfect. For individuals that have low income now, but they may have high income in the future, the Roth IRA would work better. For both of these, you can withdraw at 59 and a half. That's the first time that you can withdraw. However, you can keep your money in either one of these accounts all the way up until age 72 for the traditional IRA. At the age of 72 for the traditional IRA, you must start withdrawing it. You also have to stop contributing at age 70. For the Roth IRA, you can contribute for as long as you are alive, and you also do not have a minimum required distribution. So that's also another one of the great benefits of having a Roth IRA. You can choose to invest in a Roth IRA and in a traditional IRA in the same year. The one thing that you have to be mindful of is that you don't exceed that limit that is provided by the guidelines, which is $6,000 if you're under 50 and $7,000 if you are over 50. That $1,000 is called a catch up. And if you were to pay more than the amounts, these maximum amounts, there is a charge that can be assessed to you because you've gone over the limits. So you also just want to make sure that you do not exceed the limit. So again, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell to get new contents, and please definitely stay in touch and follow through on this retirement series. It's very scary that a lot of people are not prepared for retirement to even cover their basic needs, and therefore whatever age you are right now, even if you're a teenager, as soon as you're working and you're earning money, you can actually start putting money away. Your parents can actually open up a Roth IRA for you. So you're never too young to start. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video where I will be providing 5 tips for investing in your 30s.